Today on Machinery Nation, I'm going to blow you away with how to assemble the Mountfield MBL 270V, which is their blower vacuum. Yes, I'm going to show you how to put it together and how to start it for the very first time. So you have got some tubes, which is your blower tubes and your vacuum tubes. Some more tubes. You have your leaf bag. You have the actual blower engine itself, and you have a box of freebie goodies. Yeah, I know. What's in there? We'll find out. In here you have a mixing bottle and some tools, because you're going to need them to assemble it. The instruction manuals. Right, we're going to put these up on screen now. If you can just read them through first. Joking, you can do that at your own leisure. So here you have your main engine unit, and in a little while we'll show you how to start that. There's a bit on. Aha! There's a bit of cardboard underneath. Get rid of that. So then you've got your bit at the front. That is the bit the wind comes out of. That's the blowing bit. The vacuum part, sucking part, is on the side. So again, we'll show you how to open that up and put the tubes in. So we'll start with the blower tubes, these big tubes, which is your vacuum tubes. Where pull your big tubes out. Get rid of that plastic. Can't reuse that. And inside there, you'll find two smaller tubes. Put them to one side. And then these two tubes are very, very simple to use. You've got a fishtail nozzle on there, which is a fishtail that goes along that way, and then you've got a round nozzle. So depending on what you're using your blower for, will depend on what you want to use the end of your nozzle for. So if you've got really wet, dried on leaves, sort of on the ground, you want to get underneath them, that's where the fishtail is really good, because it can divert the air into a nice thin line. But if you're sort of blowing leaves out of gravel, but you don't want to move the gravel, then the round nozzle's better. So look, you have a practice, see what is best for you. And then you've got this nozzle here. So this one here is what clips into these here. So we'll go with the fishtail to start with, because I always think it looks the best. You've got little knobs on the end of your tube each side, and they slot in to the slots on the blower attachment you want to put on. So it goes down through there, goes into there, and that is the long way, and they just clip in. So you just pull that apart, pop that in like so, and twist that around. If you're a little bit shorter and you don't want it to be quite so close to the ground, you can actually undo that, push it in a little bit further, and then twist. So that'll make your nozzle even shorter. And then once you've got those onto there, this one then goes into here and will click in. You've got the little knob underneath on the blower, but nothing on the top. So if you're looking it down through there, you've got a knob each side and one underneath. And as you'll see on the blower itself, on the engine, you've also got the notches each side for that to slot into. And then you'll see in here, there's also a little red catch. And that's very important, because you can't actually start that engine without a nozzle, one of your tubes, being in the end of the blower. So all you do is have the blower end like that, and you push it up against, line it up, there we are, line it up so it's in there, and you'll hear a little click, there we go, and that means it's firmly in there. So that's actually pushing on a switch to allow you to be able to start the machine. So if you haven't got a starting blower, it's always a good place to start. And then if you want to take that back out again, if you open up your lovely supplied tool bag it comes with, and you'll get a little Allen key wrench, well it's torque wrench on there, and in the side there you can slot that in the hole in the side, and you can push that switch upwards, and that allows you to then pull that back out again, because it clicks in there on that switch. But let's say you don't want to use your fishtail, again, you can just pull that off, and you can put your round nozzle on instead. There you are, that's the longest, and then you push that right up and make that the shortest. So nice and easy on the blower. So now, there you are. You have a leaf blower. It's as simple as that. Right, let's take this apart and pop the vacuum in. You need to tip this beautiful machine on its back. Oh yes you do, because you're in here, you've got another cover you've got to remove. So this cover will open nice and easy. Just have your flat-headed screwdriver and just work that up and down. There we are, nice and easy. And that will reveal your big fan inside with your mulching blade. And you've also got another switch there, safety switch. So the machine, unless that switch is depressed, it won't start. So right, we'll just leave that closed just loose there for a minute. And you want to grab your flat-ended tube. So your big tube with two flat ends with the holes that are in it at the top. And then have your other tube. And on those you have an arrow on here, arrow on there. They need to line up, because there's a little knob on the inside and a groove there for it to go into. So line them up like so. And then putting that on a flat surface, on the ground or wherever, you can then force them in. This is probably the hardest part of the whole process, but just give it one really big good shove and it should go in. Like that, exactly like that. So nice and easy. A bit of a nightmare to come back apart again, but once it's together, you don't really need to take it apart. Now you've got those together, I can show you how it goes onto here. So you're lifting that cover up like so, have your vacuum tube, lining it up with your parts there, push it in, and then you can just twist it anti-clockwise and it clicks in. So now your vacuum tube is there all ready to rock and roll. Now back to the blower end. Here you need to grab your trumpet or horn. Doo-doo-doo. Hello? On here again you've got two notches on the outside and one underneath, and that's got a slot into the way, so the smooth side goes at the top. So again, that will just pop in like the same with the blower tube, just tip it back onto its back, it's probably easier, and that blower tube will fit into there like so, and it can't come out because that clips on it again. And on this end you're going to need to put your vacuum bag, yes, the bag which holds all your lovely bit of debris. So imagining how you're going to be holding this, which you're going to be holding it like that, and then this strap here will eventually go over you like so, and you've got on this end here where all the debris goes in, you've got your bit of Velcro, and that needs to go over the end of your trumpet or your horn like that, and you slide it up so far until we can get to that vacuum part there, and then that one there, you go round and click into there. So then when you're vacuuming, everything's all flowing nice and smoothly. So you're holding that, you've got a handle on the bottom for vacuuming, and you've got your handle on your top for your trigger. So it's nice and easy, do like that. And that's how the vacuum goes on. Pretty simple once you've done it one or two times, but hopefully this video will show you how it all goes together. And for storage wise, it's always probably best to take this all apart and leave it as a blower, or just leave it as an engine unit only. It's always quite difficult to store the vacuums as they are. But again, to take that back off again, all you've got to do is pop your screwdriver into that bottom clip, and that will clip off, and you can store that separately to your vacuum bag. So in the box you'll have found your measuring bottle. So I'm going to show you how to mix your two-stroke fuel. I've already put 500 ml of unleaded petrol into the container, and now we're going to add the oil. So as you can see, I filled up the measuring bottle with 500 ml of unleaded petrol, and this machine is a 40-to-1 mixture. So that's over on this side. So you've got the line there of 500 ml, and you've got the line over here of 40-to-1. So you now need to tip your oil in to meet that line. It's not a massive amount you need, and it's got to be as accurate as possible. So there we are. You can pop the lid back on again. And now with the lid firmly in place, don't shake the bottle to mix it, just tip it up one way, back the other, back up again, and down, and now it's ready to put into your machine. Right, so to start the machine, there is only one routine you've got to follow. And on the top here, you've got the on-off switch, which is automatically returned to on. So when you want to turn it off, all you do is hold the switch down until it stops, and then let go. It doesn't switch to off and stay off, it goes back to on again. So with that one, that is already on. You then got a priming bulb in the top in here. So you want to prime that one until the fuel comes through. When I say the fuel, it is two-stroke mixed fuel, and there are other different types of fuels available, but make sure it is mixed with oil, because this is a two-stroke engine and doesn't have its own sump. So prime that until you get fuel, and then prime it through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. You can't really over prime it because it's on a recirculating circuit, so once it's full, it goes back into the tank again. On the side here then, you will have a choke. So that lever there is your choke. Don't get that confused with the one on the back, that is just the screw to take it off the air filter. So on the side there you've got your choke, turn that to on, it will click in, and then once you've got that all ready to go, you can then hold the blower here in front of you and then pull over, 1, 2, 3, and it starts, and then it might cut out, there we go. So once it's done that, you just press the throttle, and then that will turn the choke off, okay? So we might just go fire. So what you might find there when you're starting it, it might just splutter, it might just go a little cough. That's when you want to turn the choke off, and then you pull it again until it starts. There we go. Because the blower is trying to force the wind through, it might take a little bit of time to warm it up, but once it's warmed up, you should hear a nice sweet sounding engine. And then to stop, hold that switch down. So yeah, to allow the blower to warm up. Blowers are probably the slowest warming up engines on the market for the simple reason it's immediately trying to force air through, compared to a chainsaw or a strimmer. When you start it up, you're not actually putting any load on it, whereas this has got instant load. Make sure it's fresh fuel, make sure it's new fuel that you're putting in it, not something that's been stored in a can for a long time because it's going to be stale. And the most problematic thing about starting two-stroke engines is stale fuel. So make sure it's fresh all the time, and it's not fuel that's been left in there a long time. Drain it the old fuel out and start again if it's been stored a while. That is the Mountfield blower vac, how to assemble and how to start. I hope it's been helpful. Please subscribe to our videos, please like our content, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.